Hello students. So next we have discussed the one more experiment. So the experiment name is fluidized bed water cooling tower testery. So the aim of this experiment is to calculate the efficiency of the cooling tower and mass of water evaporated in the process. So these are the two things we have determined in that experiment, right? So next we have seen the what is the general arrangement for the cooling tower. Okay, next let me see the arrangement for the individual component present in the fluidized bed compressor. So first we have seen the blower, so that blower is attached with the electric motor. So the electric power is given as an input, so the blower will rotate. So the air is sucked through this port. So once the compressed air will flow through this pipe, then through the pipe and enter at the bottom of the cooling tower. So this is bottom condition, this is top condition. So the air will flow from here to through this ball, then move upward, then finally exit through this port, right? So at the end we have temperature, dry bulb and wet bulb notification. We have calculated the temperature of dry bulb, then wet bulb at exit air condition. So next we have seen the water flow condition, right? So here this is water heater used to heat the water. So next I am going to change the water flow rate. So this is rotometer. So if I am changing the knob position, the flow will move in upward direction. Like this way I am going to change the flow rate condition. So the unit for flow rate is LPH. So for first set of reading I am going to set the value as 300. So 300 flow rate I am set. So next the flow rate is fixed, the water is flow from this pipe then through the heater. So finally the heated water will flow from this pipe then to the top direction, right? So at the top of the cooling tower, so the water will flow at the top. So top directions, the water will be heated will flow from the top to bottom direction. So at the bottom end we have attached one flow rate measurement. So we have closed the knob. So we have to note on the time taken for 5 centimeter rise. So that time is used to calculate the what is the flow rate. So once we note down the temperature value, next we have to open the valve. So by opening the valve, the water storage in the tank will discharge through this pipe. So the controller of heater, then blower, then temperature sensor is from here. So I am going to switch on the temperature sensor. So the temperature of the water at various location. So this is sensor. So by this sensor we can note on the temperature value like 24.5 and changing the knob, the temperature will be 37. Then second condition 36.9. Then third condition 37.1. So like this way you can note the temperature of the air or water at different location along the cooling tower. So next at first step you have to start the blower. Right, so the blower is on. So the air will flow from bottom to. So if the blower is on, so the air is sucked from the atmosphere through this port, then finally enter into the tube, then will flow at the bottom of the cooling tower. So similarly the air will flow from the bottom direction to the top direction at exit condition. So next we have to note down the temperature value for the inlet air through this dry bulb temperature thermometer, then wet bulb temperature thermometer. So for measuring wet bulb, I am going to pour the water at some quantity over the thermometer. So next by setting the different value of flow rate, for example for initial condition the flow rate value is set as 300 LPH. So next I am going to set the value at 400 LPH, right? So for 400 LPH you have to switch on the blower, then the air will circle from the surrounding air, then it pass through the pipe, then bottom of the cooling tower, then exit at the top condition. So for that condition you have note down the temperature at different location. So that is the experimental procedure for second set of reading. So next I am going to change the flow rate to 500 LPH. So at last reading I am going to set the flow rate value is 500 LPH. So once we set the value at 500 LPH, next we have to switch on the blower. So the process will same for the previous conditions. Okay, once we complete the note down the value in the experiment, next you have to see in the tabulation for the given experiment. So rotometer reading, that is LPM. So next H1, H2 manometric reading differences. Next temperature indicator reading from along the cooling tower, T1, T2, T3, T4, then T5, then T6, then last one T7. So next air temperature at inlet condition for both wet bulb temperature, then dry bulb temperature. So similarly for outlet condition, wet bulb temperature, then dry bulb temperature. So here we have noted down the flow rate for three conditions. So first condition we set up the value is 400, then second condition 450, then third condition 500. So for each flow rate condition you have to note down the H1, H2, then what is the difference between H1 minus H2, then T1, T2, T3, T4, T5, T6. Okay, thus we have tabulated the temperature value for the air as well as for the water. So air for both inlet and outlet condition, then water at different location. So by this way we have noted down the entire value in the given table. So next we have to discuss the formula for calculating the efficiency as well as the mass of water evaporated. So here the two formula is mentioned. So first one is theoretical discharge of water, next efficiency of cooling tower. So these are the two terms we have to calculate. So for mass of water evaporated in cooling tower is ratio between theoretical discharge to actual discharge. So what is a theoretical discharge QT value we have to find, then what is the value for QA, actual discharge of water, we have to calculate. So after obtaining these two values by different, that is minus value between Q2 minus QA is the mass of water evaporated. So the formula for theoretical discharge of water in liter per hour is mentioned as rotometer reading in LPH. So we have mentioned that is set as value is 300, then 350, 400, 450. So like this way you have noted on the value of flow rate in LPH, that is liter per hour. So actual discharge of water formula is A into capital H into 3600 divided by 10 power 3 divided by T. So here A is nothing but the cross sectional area of the storage tank that fitted at the bottom of the cooling tower. Next height is the reference height we have taken. For example 5 centimeter we have taken for reference. So next 3600 multiplied by 10 power 3 divided by T. So here small t is nothing but, so how much of time it will take to rise the capital H. So if for example approximately I am telling us 30 seconds, 35 seconds taken for rising the water up to 5 centimeter. So that is small t. So next mass flow rate of air is QA into rho A in kg per second. So the volume flow rate of air is given as the formula CD into A into square root of 2GH into rho W minus rho A divided by rho A. So rho W is density of water, that value will be equal to 1000 kg per meter cube. Then rho A is density of air, 1.28 kg per meter cube. So H is the manometric difference, then A is the area of orifice, then CD is coefficient of discharge. So these terms are all mentioned in the bottom. So CD is coefficient of discharge, A is the area of orifice, then H manometric reading, so rho W, rho A, then M, D by D ratio. So once we find out the volume of flow rate, you can calculate the mass of water evaporated in the cooling tower. So that is first conditions we have to determine. So next, second we have to calculate the efficiency of cooling tower. So TW1 minus TW0 divided by TW minus TW1 into 100. So the explanation for TW1, TW2, TW2, TWBA. So these are all the wet bulb temperature, then dry bulb temperature of water at the inlet and the exit the cooling tower. So by using this formula you can calculate the efficiency of the cooling tower. So in that experiment we have determined two values. So first one is how much of water in kg per second is evaporated through this process. So second one we have to calculate the what is the efficiency of cooling tower by using the given formula, right? So these are the two terms we determined by using this experiment. So thank you students.